Welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You're here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish McFarland. How are you today? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Do you know why it's a happy Monday for me?
You got a 212 in bowling over the weekend?
No, that would be fun. Actually, I'm sort of internally celebrating two of my best friends' birthdays.
Nice.
One is yours.
Oh, mine. Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
And I know for the listeners who might have kind of picked up on this, it was over the weekend. So happy belated birthday because we didn't get to do a live show on your big day.
Thank you. Was over the weekend, which I was actually glad for. I was slightly concerned after the festivities I broke out on your birthday that I was going to catch a little bit of the business. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. And it's also today is our friend Madeline Lorano's birthday. So
right.
Madeline, my fill-in host here on the show, been friends for forever. Happy birthday to Madeline. So
yeah, that's great because it was always right. I knew Madeline's was right around here. It was always kind of back to back to back, usually at HR Tech, right? Which, pre-pandemic, which is where we all would have been this week, would have been right. The original dates for HR Tech in Las Vegas were this week and would be kicking off tomorrow, I believe, had it not had to be taken virtually. But yeah, happy birthday to Madeline. That's pretty cool.
That's right. So yeah. So did you have a good weekend?
I did. Yeah. One of those weekends where it just went by so quickly, but it was fun. I ate well, had some good birthday related festivities. Probably don't want to go into all of them for just discretionary reasons. Sure. And we'll have that be all that's said about them. But how about you? You must have had a good weekend.
It was good. I actually want to give a shout out to something I bought over the weekend and share it with everyone because it's really simple, but it's something you can do to kind of help give back as well. So I met a woman who runs Halo Missions in Nashville and makes jewelry. I don't know if everyone can see that. It's very delicate little ring. It's made out of guitar strings. And basically what they do is it's a way for women who are, getting over different kinds of addictions to start working again. And they make jewelry, all kinds of jewelry out of guitar strings. So I thought I would give them a shout out because not only is it beautiful, it's something, you can wear every day. Not very expensive either. So very reasonably priced and for something handcrafted and, just want to give them a shout out. I wrote down their website is Halo, HALO missions, MISSIONS.com. They are also on Facebook. So we will, we'll post a link there to them just to tweet them out.
Great.
And the other person I want to give a shout out to, because I'm in the shout out mood today. It's Monday, and I don't know. Some days I feel like
shout it out. Do we still do this when we shout out? Are we raising the roof? Can we?
My kids would say yes. If I'm being a dork, I would do that. Yes,
right.
absolutely. So yeah,
by the way, is that dab up? They'll dab up. All right. Who do you shout out to? I'm interrupting the shout out.
You are.
Sorry.
No, and I think because, sometimes we talk about work, which we can obviously still do, but, part of taking a break is thinking about, spending your time maybe reading something. We talk about books a lot. So I wanted to mention a friend of the show, Steve Brown, friend of everyone, really. Anyone in the HR industry.
A friend to all, I would say. Absolutely.
Friend to all. Mr. Steve Brown has a new book out, HR Rising. Now, he had his first book out just a couple years ago. I think it was 3 years ago now, HR on Purpose, which, if I'm not mistaken, if it's not the top selling book that SHRM has ever, gotten behind, it is probably close, but I think it's actually the top selling book. But his new one is about taking, from ownership to leadership. So I would highly recommend. I did check right before we went live just to make sure it is available on Amazon. You can buy it. You can get the Kindle, but Steve Brown, BROWNE, HR Rising.
All right. Well, can we do one more shout out, book related?
It's shout out Monday.
It is related to something we did earlier today. Okay. We recorded an HR Happy Hour podcast with Derek Irvine from WorkHuman. His second book, co-authored, or his most recent book, I should say, co-authored with Eric Mosley, came out last week. called Making Work Human. It's on Amazon as well. And so we spent about 35, 40 minutes with Derek today talking all about that book. And so you can look forward to that podcast next week. And just another book, highly recommended book to shout out and recommend, Making Work Human. You can also find on Amazon. So there you go. Those are the shout outs for
Monday. You know what? Can we talk? I don't want to give away the show because obviously everyone needs to come listen to Derek. And when we post that one, which we will, of course, tweet out so that everyone has access. But you know, what I love about when we talk to Eric or when we talk to Derek, either one, they both are so passionate and believe so wholeheartedly in making work human. And it's not just a buzzword. This is something we were talking about. They've been doing this
they've been at it for 20 years. Yeah, come on.
Years.
It's not a buzzword, right?
Priority. So it's interesting to me, you know, sometimes people jump on a bandwagon a little bit when times get rough. And there's been a little bit of that, certainly across industries right now. But I feel like they've really paved the way for a lot of the really innovative thinking around how to make human connections more close. And the one thing I'll say just in the conversation with him is I feel like it gives you permission to be a little more personal, a little more connected in a way maybe you weren't before. So anyway, I love talking with Derek. And,
and he told, I'm not going to give it away because it's a great story, but he tells a great story. It's in the book. It's on the podcast as well about how a big hospital that they work with, major hospital chain, how a moment of connection between like the chief of surgery
Don't give too much.
Hospital and one of the groundskeepers at the organization and what happened and how that played out. It's a great story. So I hope people check that out. So Trish, can I sort of go non-work then for a second?
Sure.
So last week I talked a little bit about how I was recording all the spots for the introductions for HR Tech Virtual, which is happening in a couple of weeks. I finally finished all those today, which was great. I destroyed my office and turned it into like a makeshift recording kind of video studio to accomplish that. So this afternoon, since the recording was all done, I kind of spent time cleaning up and trying to get things back to semblance of order, going through some old boxes. And I found something I thought was really cool, which I wanted to show.
What is that?
This is a jade Buddha that I picked up, I think last year at HR Tech China, which I thought was super cool. And I used to have on my old desk before I moved. Now I found it again. I can go on my new desk. So it reminded me of that great trip. And Buddhas are really cool. I just think they're cool. They're good luck, I think. This one's he's happy. He's holding up I don't know what he's holding up, but he's happy. So I dig that.
Well, I think jade is always so beautiful too.
There you go. He's going right on the desk.
Right, so here's a question for you because, you know, we in the past have traveled. We had jobs where we travel. Are you someone who tends to pick up things when you travel to bring back to kind of remind you of your travels? I'm not very good at that. I'll have to be honest.
Yeah, I try to, especially when it's somewhere new. Like if it's somewhere I hadn't been, we often we've done 37 trips to Las Vegas in the last 7 years. So I'm probably
you're not picking up any,
probably not getting any more, I crapped out in Las Vegas t-shirt at the airport, on the way home. I've probably the temptation to buy those, but yeah, definitely somewhere new. So I have one of those older style refrigerators still that still accepts magnets like readily and is glad for them. So I have two sides of my refrigerator going. So I pick up a magnet everywhere I go that's new, sometimes more than one, or if I visit somewhere cool where I go. So I probably have 60 or 70 of them on there now from all the places around the world we've been lucky enough to go to. Yeah, I dig the magnet fridge thing. So I do that as well. Sometimes that's all I'll do. Like if I'm in a place really quickly, do the magnet fridge at the airport on the way in and out, which, so I do that. I am a guy who picks up stuff from the road, small mementos. Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I love it. You know what? I have a few magnets, not like that though. So I don't know. I don't know that I have one thing I try and get. Well, I will say this. I try and always get a postcard for our friend, Frank Roche, the postcardist. So if anyone's into postcards, number one, look him up, send him a postcard. And he's got a great podcast all about postcards, which who would think, but it's very, very popular. There are so many people that collect postcards. And the interesting thing for me has been just as I travel around, when you start looking for postcards, they're so fascinating. Like some are very artistic and funny.
Yeah,
and
I found a box full of postcards and cleaning up the office today from various places along the way too. So yeah, I've got a bunch. Maybe I'll get one out in the mail. And sometimes I wonder too. I did find a bunch of stuff where I don't know why I'm keeping this thing, but I can't get rid of it. Not you know what I mean? Do you have stuff like that in your life where it's like, Okay, and I've moved a bunch of times. I keep moving like a certain box. Here's I'll give you a good example. Tell me if I should get rid of this right now. I found a shoebox, normal size shoebox, full of business cards that I've accumulated over the years. Maybe going back 15 years. And every time I get home from a trip, I take whatever business cards I happen to have collected. I put them in this shoebox. I still have the shoebox. There must be 500 business cards in the shoebox. What should I do with that shoebox, Trish?
I think you need to just wish it well and send it on its way.
Thank it for its service and the joy it's brought me and let it go. All right.
Let's let it go. You know what? I think that's a really great question. I was actually thinking about something similar this morning. I have a junk drawer. Do you have a junk drawer? I feel like everyone has a junk drawer in your house.
I'm
like in the kitchen.
I'm becoming an owner of a junk closet, but yes, I do. Yes.
And honestly, I don't even know why I open the drawer, but I open the drawer every day looking for something that's never there. And then I'm thinking like the stuff that's in there, why do I have it? It's those little things. It's like, oh, I collected this or that or whatever, and I threw it in the junk drawer. And the funny thing was, you're talking about moving. When I moved from my old house, which is almost 4 years ago, I took everything from the junk drawer and it fit into 3 1-gallon Ziploc bags. The stuff is still in those Ziploc bags in my closet.
That is a good question.
Should I just let it go?
What's the strangest thing in your junk drawer like right now? Because everybody has that. Everybody's got that drawer or that little box or that little closet.
Here's our challenge for tomorrow then, because I do have those 3 bags and I've got the current drawer. Let's do it. Tomorrow we're going to come back with the strangest thing that we found. I have no idea what's in those bags, quite frankly. It's been almost 4 years. So
take a look.
But before I just throw them away out into the world, I know.
Like you find the combination to a bicycle lock for a bicycle you haven't had in 12 years, but you wrote it down so you wouldn't lose it. That kind of thing.
All that. I don't even know why. Ribbon, batteries, you name it. I have everything. Probably random birthday candles, things like that. Yeah, good stuff. So, all right. Well, listen, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've done our shout outs. We've talked junk drawers. We've got a few books out there. So I think we can call it a day. What do you think?
I say, Buddha says, have a great rest of the day.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, for all the comments. We love that you're listening, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Bye for now.